What if I told you? There are places in America so breathtaking, so wildly alive, that most people have never even heard their name. Not Yellowstone, not the Grand Canyon, not Yosemite. I'm talking about places where you could stand on the edge of a canyon so deep, so dark, it feels like the earth just swallowed itself. Where ancient trees have been alive since before the Roman Empire, where you can drift in a wooden boat across a glassy wilderness lake and not see another soul for miles. These parks exist right now, waiting, and most people will never find them. Stay with me. By the end of this video, I guarantee that at least one of these is going straight to your bucket list. Incredible, grounded excitement. I've spent a lot of time researching the places that most travel guides skip right over. The parks that don't have merchandise stores at the exit, the ones that don't sell out in July. Today, we're going to 7 of them. 7 national parks, hidden in plain sight across this country, that deserve so much more than they get. Let's go! The North Cascades in Washington State holds more glaciers than anywhere else in the continental United States. Over 500,000 acres of jagged peaks, sapphire alpine lakes, and wilderness so raw it barely feels real. I imagine standing at one of those ridgelines, the wind cold against your face, the silence so complete you can actually hear yourself think. There's something almost sacred about that kind of quiet. And yet, the crowds? Almost non-existent. It's one of the least visited national parks in the country, which honestly makes it even better. Nevada. Most people think of casinos and neon, but drive far enough east, past the desert, past the silence, and you'll find Great Basin. Ancient bristlecone pine trees that were alive over 4,000 years ago. Limestone caverns that descend into the earth like nature's own cathedral. And at night, some of the darkest, most spectacular skies on the planet. This park became official in 1986, and somehow it still flies completely under the radar. What would it feel like to look up at that sky, truly dark, truly vast, with nothing between you and the stars? If you think you've seen a canyon, you haven't seen this one. Black Canyon of the Gunnison in Colorado is narrow, steep, and so profoundly deep that parts of the canyon floor receive less than 30 minutes of sunlight a day. Some walls drop nearly 2,000 feet straight down. It's darker than the Grand Canyon, more dramatic, more primal. I'd want to sit at the rim at dawn, just as that thin slice of light finally reaches the bottom, and watch the canyon come alive. That image alone is worth the drive. Utah has 5 national parks. Most people visit 3, maybe 4. Almost nobody visits Capitol Reef. But here's the thing, it might be the most quietly beautiful of them all. The Water Pocket Fold is one of the most remarkable geological features in North America. A 100-mile wrinkle in the Earth's crust that turned rock layers on their side like pages in a book. Red and gold and rust-colored cliffs stretch as far as you can see. And in the middle of all that wilderness, there are historic fruit orchards. You can actually pick fresh fruit straight from the trees. That combination of wild geology and unexpected sweetness, that's Capitol Reef. Voyageurs National Park, Minnesota. Most national parks you explore on foot. Voyageurs you explore by water. Located in northern Minnesota near the Canadian border, this park is essentially a maze of interconnected lakes, islands, and boreal forests. You need a boat to reach most of it. Imagine drifting out on the water at dusk, loons calling across the surface, the northern lights beginning to shimmer overhead. No roads, no traffic, just wilderness in every direction. It's one of the few national parks in America where the journey itself is the destination. Theodore Roosevelt National Park, North Dakota. There's a reason this park carries a president's name. Theodore Roosevelt came to the North Dakota Badlands as a young man, grieving, restless, searching. And what he found here changed him so profoundly that he spent the rest of his life fighting to protect America's wild places. Today, wild bison roam the same rugged terrain. Wild horses run across the Badlands, and the landscape still looks exactly like it did when he first arrived. This park didn't just inspire a man, it helped shape an entire conservation movement. And then there's Congaree National Park, South Carolina. A bottomland forest so old, so dense, that when you walk the boardwalks above in the floodplain, you genuinely feel like you've stepped back millions of years. These are champion trees. Some of the tallest hardwood trees in the eastern United States grow here. The canopy is so thick it barely lets the light through, and in late spring, synchronous fireflies. Thousands of them blinking in perfect unison across the forest floor. It's one of the rarest natural light shows on Earth, and almost no one knows it exists. 7 parks. 7 completely different worlds, each one waiting for the right person to find it. Now, here's what I want to know. Which one would you visit first? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Is it the dark skies of the Great Basin? The ancient forest of Congaree? The raw, almost violent beauty of Black Canyon? Or maybe you'd grab a boat and disappear into Voyageurs for a week. There's no wrong answer. That's the thing about places like these. They find you in different ways. If this video opened your eyes to somewhere new, share it with someone who needs a reason to travel. And if you want more hidden destinations, overlooked wonders, and places that will genuinely stop you in your tracks, subscribe to Travel Trip Destinations. We find the places the guidebooks skip. I'll see you in the next one.